Hello, sweet baby angels and pumpkin heads alike. It's your girl, Miss Tetra Resin Stone. And today's video, you guys, we have captured a predator and brought him to face the music. Now, I'm real excited about that, but I read a little bit about the article and it's disgusting what this man is accused of doing. Now, before we really get into what he has been doing, I gotta say, innocent people don't flee their country and go on the run for 4 years. So it's pretty safe to assume that he is guilty by his own actions. So let's get into what those accusations are, though. Now, Jeffrey Winston Forrest is 47 years old, and he's been wanted by the Abilene, Texas police for 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault of a child, bail jumping, and failure to appear in court. Now, first off, okay, what the fuck? I didn't realize you could go on bail if you're a child abuser, but apparently you can. According to the police in the Mexican city of Zapopan, members of the state attorney's office, Zapopan Police Department, and the National Institute of Immigration arrested Forrest on Friday afternoon. Investigators said they spotted him in Zapopan after his presence and identity were confirmed with the existing alert in the U.S. due to a tip that was provided to In Pursuit with John Walsh on Investigation Discovery after the show profiled the case. Now, right off the bat, I think that's really, really freaking cool that, it proves that shows like In Pursuit and To Catch a Predator and, FBI's Most Wanted list, all of those crime shows that really showcase. Live PD does a segment on there as well. All of these shows that really, put these people in the national spotlight actually really help bring some of these folks to justice. And it's awesome that they never gave up. As a survivor, and I'm sure the survivors can, feel the same way as well, to know that the police and that the community and that the world at large didn't stop looking for their abuser has got to bring some sort of peace to them, despite what he's accused of and what he did to them. Now, something that really, really, really disgusts me about this particular pedophile, now they all really disgust me, but this one is unique. This one is a former youth pastor. That's right. You heard it right. A youth pastor was accused in 2015 by 4 minors of sexually assaulting them, according to the U.S. Marshals Service in the Northern District of Texas. The victims said their ages ranged from 8 to 15, while Forrest repeatedly assaulted them. According to investigators, they said he apparently used his position as a youth minister at several different churches to access and groom them. He was arrested in April 2015 and released on bond, but failed to appear for his trial in 2016 of August. Now, that to me is crazy. It's freaking crazy. It's freaking crazy that they gave him bond. I don't know what his bond was, but I'm hoping that there is no chance for bond. I'm hoping that they throw him away and, never let him out. Let's go back to talk about what his role was before he molested these children. He was a youth pastor. Now, to me, that is even more, I think, there's certain people that we hold a little bit higher regard, and that would, of course, be teachers, pastors, and police officers, judges, lawyers. Like, at least for me, I'm going to hold somebody in a position of power a little bit higher. And the reason I would put a pastor in a position of power is that they are teachers, right? They are an educator. They are in a position of power as far as being an educator to teach the word of God. And when you deal with someone's spirituality and you deal with someone's, eternal salvation, there's going to be, if you're a guidance to that and a shepherd to Christ, a shepherd to the Lord, if you will, there's going to be a sense of power there. So the dynamic there is extremely wide. And it really disgusts me that you would use your position as a pastor to fool the world, because you're going to trust. I think most of us have been trained and groomed by, and not in a bad way, but I think most of us as society has been trained and groomed to trust police officers, to trust pastors, or to trust religious leaders, to trust teachers, to trust, people who serve the community, and pastors serve their community. And so because there's that trust, to have that broken and violated, I think that the damage that he does is far beyond just the physical assaults to the victims, but to the families and to the church community as a whole. Because now you have, how can you justify that you have a house of God, right? You're running this house of God at these several churches that he's been to, yet the devil is at work molesting these children. And how can you, as a Christian, or what I'm assuming they're Christians, I could be wrong, but whatever religion they are, how could you, justify that the Lord, whatever Lord you're believing in at this particular case, is valid or is there? Because what God would allow these things to happen under his nose. Now, it doesn't go into if this happened on the church grounds. However, just the connection of him being their pastor is enough for me to kind of make that jump, where there's a sense of betrayal, not only from the pastor himself, but from God in general and from the religion in general. I know myself was very bitter when I prayed for God to save me, and he never came. He never saved me. So I've struggled a very, very long time with religion and the idea of that, because it's hard to cry out and pray and your prayers never be answered. You know what I mean? So I can only imagine how the parents must feel, how the whole community of the church, the elders, everyone that goes to that church, the other pastors. I mean, it's an isolation. I'm not saying that the whole church is wrong and evil, but it is hard to say, how can you not look at that and say, how could God allow this to happen? How could you trust your pastors, your other pastors? Not that they're going to go out molesting people, but that they weren't able to protect the kids either, or see, that vileness as well. All in all, very, very disgusting. And on the spirituality side of things, that really, really gets to me. And it really, really upsets me for the fact that he's probably shaken their faith. I mean, it's more insult to injury. Nothing can take back, or nothing is as bad as the actual physical act. And I'm not taking that away at all. But I think the insult to injury is the fact that, there's got to be a sense of your faith shaking. You trust in God, and you trust in God's servants, which would be his teachers and his pastors. And for a pastor to violate you and violate your trust as a parent, as a child, as a victim, I can't imagine. Let me know what your thoughts are, guys, on that and what you think. Now, I'm very happy his ass is locked up. He is in jail. Forrest was on the U.S. Marshals list of the top 15 most wanted fugitives. Investigators said they had encountered difficulties capturing him because of his knowledge of the dark web and his use of communication softwares such as Tor to mask his digital footprint. Now, he was given a $3 million bond upon his return to Texas. And I think that's so weird that he already jumped bail once and was a fugitive for 4 years. And you give him another opportunity to essentially get out of jail. Like, I don't understand Texas court for giving them the option, even if he can't afford the $3 million to get out. I don't know how or why. Maybe that's a legal thing that you have to give somebody bail. But I think when you've already proven yourself to not take responsibility, not even go to, go through the process. Like, let's be clear. He has not been convicted of these allegations. But he did jump bail, and he did miss his court date, and he did flee the country. I think your guilt is proven in your actions when you do that. But I don't know. Who am I? But that's pretty much all that I have on this particular instance. I think, again, it's really, really sad and vile that somebody would do this in the position that he had. But I'm really glad that he is safely returned to the States to face the victims, to face his victims, and to finally, hopefully, will make his day in court, and we can get justice for the survivors in this case. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, I will see you in my next video. Until next time, bye-bye.